Today, we tell the story of Teysa Karlov, Matriarch of Debt and Death. In the marble halls of the Orzova Church of Deals, power was measured not in coins, but in contracts, and few held more parchment-bound souls than Teysa Karlov. She was born under the towering spires of the Orzov Basilica, surrounded by wealth that stretched beyond the material. Her family, the Karlovs, were among the oldest bloodlines in the syndicate, famed for their cold efficiency and unshakable control over the flow of debts, ties, and spiritual servitude. But young Teysa was not content to merely inherit, she intended to rule. Teysa learned early that within the Orzov, gold could buy silence, but knowledge bought obedience. She devoured legal doctrine, contract theory, and ancient metaphysical laws that govern the dead. While her peers obsessed over lineage and luxury, she became fluent in spirit binding, debt forging, and the subtle art of bureaucratic dominance. Her mentors called her prodigious. Her rivals called her dangerous. They were both correct. By her mid-20s, Teysa had ascended to the Grand Envoy of the Syndicate. Her title was ceremonial, but her influence was not. She crafted laws so precise that even the dead found no loophole. Spirits bound to the Orzov service obeyed her without resistance, not out of loyalty, but because the language of her contracts left them no choice. Every whisper of dissent from the undead choir only fed her legend. But behind her composed exterior and elegant speech, Teysa seethed with quiet rebellion. The Orzov Syndicate, for all its power, was a rotting system. At its peak sat a cabal of ancient ghostly oligarchs, the Obsidat, also known as the Ghost Council. These spectral figures ruled in perpetuity, their wills eternal, their appetites insatiable. Their greed held the syndicate in stasis, and their cruelty left the living and the dead alike in chains. Teysa knew that for as long as they endured, true progress would remain impossible. So she plotted. Years passed, and Teysa spun her web tighter. She aligned with strange allies, the mind-sculpting Demir, the ruthless Golgari, even the firebrands of Rakdos when it served her ends. But her boldest move came during the events leading up to the Guild Pact's restoration, when the city of Ravnica teetered on the edge of chaos. At the heart of this upheaval was the planeswalker Gideon Jura and the living Guild Pack, Jace Beleren. Teysa saw opportunity in the coming storm. She played diplomat and schemer in equal measure, leveraging the chaos to weaken the Obsidat's grip. When the dragon planeswalker Nicol Bolas invaded Ravnica, the Ghost Council, paranoid and greedy, attempted to hoard their power instead of defending the city. It was their final mistake. With the aid of Kaya, a ghost assassin with a conscience, Teysa orchestrated the unthinkable, the assassination of the Obsidat. Kaya struck the final blow, but it was Teysa who had drawn the dagger and planned the strike. With the Ghost Council gone, Teysa stepped into the vacuum, declaring herself de facto leader of the reformed Orzov Syndicate. Under her leadership, things began to shift. No longer did the spirits of the dead serve as eternal slaves. Teysa worked to rewrite the laws of death, forging new doctrines where service could be repaid and freedom earned even after the grave. Many in the syndicate despised her reforms. Others feared her, but few dared to challenge her directly. Teysa Karlov had proven that she could bind death itself to her will, and that she could unmake tyrants no matter how ancient. Even now, clad in her immaculate black and white regalia, cane in hand and contracts swirling through the air like whispered prayers, Teysa walks the marble halls of the Orzova, not as a servant of its ancient past, but as the architect of its uncertain but freer future.